Hello boys and girls, Master Waffles is back to show you guys the land vehicles of the Planetary Annihilation Alpha. Now, I don't think I need to show you guys what a fabrication vehicle is, so I'm going to skip over that and show you guys the Skidder, which is a fast, lightly armed, but very, very good for exploration unit. The Spinner, which is extremely effective against air units and could pretty much destroy early game bomber rushes. And the Ant, which is a standard tank, medium speed, good damage, and very, very cheap to produce. The next unit we're going to be looking at would be the Skidder, which is very, very, very fast, lightly armored, but can generally do a good job at scouting out the territory of your planet. Right now, however, it's bad to really spam out these scout units, Fireflies, Skidders, or the naval variant, or the bot variant, as the case may be that, they don't do a lot of damage, which means it's not wise to spam them out, but in any case, they can do some harassment if you so desire to use them for harassment, and they're relatively fast. Not faster than the Firefly, but pretty fast. Next, we're going to be looking at the Ant, which has a good amount of speed and, is armored okay-ish. They're relatively hard to kill, tier 1, but tier 2, they're fairly easy. And they do a good amount of damage towards, land units. They can't shoot air units down, which is a shame, but at the same time, they cost as much as a Spinner, and they're pretty good against Spinners as well as other land units, so they're pretty good early game T1 domination. Like, spamming these out would be a fair strategy against bot spam or maybe Spinner spam. And last but not least, we have the Spinner land vehicle, which is good against air vehicles and bots because of its high rate of fire and its okay-ish amount of damage. There is the Spinner variant without vehicles for the bot factory, but at the same time, this Spinner unit is a lot more costly as it's more mobile than the bot Spinner. So that's pretty much it for the tier 1 vehicle factory, and now we're going to be looking at the advanced vehicle factory, which has, surprise surprise, the advanced fabrication vehicle. Oh, we don't need to go over him. The dumper, which is slow but packs a huge punch. The sheller, which is mobile artillery. Word to the wise, however, sometimes there's a bug where the artillery won't be firing at anything, but they're still going to continuously fire, which means you're going to have a situation where they're going to fire at something, but their shots are never going to register. So, yeah, keep that in mind. And then we have a leveler, which is a heavy hitter. Heavy damage, heavily armored, but very slow. So first, of course, this is the advanced fabrication vehicle, which, much like all the other fabrication vehicles that are advanced, it can build the same amount of things and the same amount of buildings and blah, blah, blah. This is the regular fabrication vehicle, in case you guys were wondering. But in all honesty, we've already gone over this numerous amount of times as to what the fabrication vehicles can build. So there's not really much point. Next, we have the dumper. Now, these things are incredibly, incredibly hard to kill, as they do a ton of damage and are really good at attacking your opponents from afar, since they have okay-ish amount of range. They don't have as much range as an artillery piece, but they do have a good amount of range, and they can do a surprising amount of damage if you do not attack these guys. However, they're not as armored as the leveler, which means because of that, they're easy to kill with tier 2 units. Next, we have the sheller, which is a mobile artillery unit which can do a surprising amount of damage. Like I said beforehand, a word to the wise, there is a bug which makes the artillery unit have an incredible amount of range, but at the same time, their shots will never register, meaning that they're pretty much useless. Some of them. Sometimes they actually do hit their targets, so that's something to keep in mind, but they have a ridiculously large amount of range. In fact, in one case, I saw this one sheller which was about to fire from here all the way to here. So they have a good amount of range, and they're very good against destroying structures, if they're ever firing at them. And finally, we have the final tier 2 vehicle, which would be the leveler. Now, I actually lost to these time after time again. They are incredibly hard to kill, super, super hard, and it takes an entire army to kill just one of them. They are difficult to kill, and they do a surprising amount of damage. Letting these guys get into your base, and you have generally a lot of tier 1 buildings, could basically destroy your entire faction. So that's something to keep in mind, and you should really keep an eye on these guys. And that's pretty much it for the land vehicles of Planetary Annihilation. Please subscribe and like for more videos like this, and stay tuned for the naval units of Planetary Annihilation. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.